Welcome back to Empowerment Radio. We are talking about procrastination, and James was sending on the chat box a question which I think quite a few of you probably can relate to. The question is, my dad simply keeps putting off going to his doctor for what I'm sure is a real issue with his health. He always finds an excuse. What can I do or say to get his focus on this and stop procrastinating? Well, that's an excellent question, and I think this is a classic example of fear stopping your father from going to the doctor because most likely he is afraid of finding out that he is ill and that there may have been some treatments that he needs or anything like that. So he puts the head in the sand. Now, of course, his health is his right, but what I would suggest for you is to really tell him also that he has a responsibility to his children. You love him. I don't know if there is a mother, but I'm sure she's also, concerned and loves him, and that not going to the doctor is not only something that is selfish. It actually is also hurting you, just like it potentially is hurting him. So having a little bit of frank discussion on that, putting it off is putting his health certainly into risk, but also it is creating anxiety and stress and worry and potential pain for all the people that care about him. And we do have responsibility for each other, and we have certainly also responsibility to take care of our health. And there may be nothing because your father may create more problems by worrying about it and procrastinating, because procrastination doesn't make his fears and worries go away. They're still there, but by procrastinating, he certainly increases them somehow subconsciously and potentially creates more health problems than by just facing it and being the person who can be also a good role model for his children. Just being a man who says, I can face the challenges and I believe I can find a way to deal with them. Have a conversation, and I hope that the findings will be completely benign and that he's okay. Now, this brings me to other things we can do about procrastination, and one of those things is, as we talked about before, just not going into the have tos or into the shoulds, but more really coming from a place, well, if I follow through with what I said to do, can I do this for a bigger purpose? Can I do this for the purpose of being the person that becomes very reliable, a person who becomes self-empowered, the person who is no longer a flake, but instead someone who can others really always depend on? Can I just see this overcoming of procrastination as an opportunity to also overcome the fears, the anxieties, the limiting beliefs, the stories I'm telling myself why something is scary and why something is to be avoided, and really learn to address life, to engage in life from a greater sense of self-worth and self-belief. So rather than saying procrastination is the habit to break, can you see it as the jumping board to get you to the next level, to deal with that procrastination in a way that you would say, I'm doing this out of the desire to increase my self-love, to increase my sense of self-empowerment, to ultimately grow beyond it and grow from it. Because then you don't see procrastination or whatever you push aside, this intention you had that never really came to fruition, you don't see those as the major focus. You see a bigger picture. And the bigger picture is to just use this as your opportunity to expand and become a more fully self-reliant, self-actualized person. Now, another really powerful aspect about overcoming procrastination is to know the power of the word. Now, there are two things. One, I already mentioned before, when you say you're going to do something, see it as almost like a sacred commitment to yourself. See it as being your own servant, having discipline with your words, being your own disciple and saying, I follow through because I deserve to follow through on what I say. I want to be able to rely on myself. The other aspect of the power of the word is that aspect of using words that take the wind out of the need to procrastinate. And often we use words of I should, I have to, I need, all those words that get you right into the corner of procrastination because there is immediately the feeling of I don't want to, this is hard, this is too much. And so choose words when you set an intention that get you motivated and that get you in a sense of choice. I want to. I desire. I choose. This is what my plan is. I enjoy. Just use words with your intentions that make it more something that is about you and that brings you some kind of benefit and fulfillment than seeing it just as an obligation and a task. And sometimes maybe that will be harder because what you need to do is really something you don't enjoy, but you can at least choose to do it because we always have a choice. Now, I want to also help you with a little imagery. So just close your eyes for a moment, unless you're driving or operating heavy machinery. And see that when you have closed your eyes, that procrastination is a choice. There is a moment, as we talked about, where you can choose to either procrastinate or to move on that track that you chose to move on. So I want you just to see this fork in the road right now. And just instead of going onto this autopilot and feeling like, I already know where I'm landing, which is right in front of the TV with the remote control in my hand, just see that you now have a choice with the left path leading to that couch, that sofa, to that procrastination place. And the right is the path where you stay committed and you stay focused on whatever you intend to do, whatever you choose to follow through with. Now, watch yourself first take the left path and just go it all through the end to the procrastination and then also to the consequence of what will happen if you continue to procrastinate. What will happen if you continue to not do what you told yourself to do, what you know would be better for you to do. And just see how that feels. Maybe you can see how much pain you would cause yourself, and maybe you would see also how much pain you could cause others. And then bring yourself back to the fork and look at the right side. And watch yourself taking that right place, that right path, and just see how you would take a step-by-step approach, going through the process of accomplishing what you have set out to do. And imagine how that would feel. Seeing yourself maybe in the glow of victory, of success. Seeing the people around you happy and joyful for what you have done and how you have been able to reach these goals. Seeing your life maybe more open with more possibilities. Just notice that you have, before you procrastinate, that choice whether to go on the left on autopilot or go on the right path. And I know that you will choose right for you. So when you are ready, you can take a deep breath in and exhale and open your eyes. And we already are at the end of the show. It was great having you on the show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you, James. And until next time, I'm your host, Dr. Friedemann Schaub. Stay empowered and take very good care of yourself.